We were talking in the office about which next person might go turkey hunting with us. And your dad was walking around back and forth, and I said, well, I got an idea. I said, how about young Nathanael? Is he going to be ready to go turkey hunting? He said, yeah, I think he might. I think it's the first time for Kentucky Afield that we have taken a producer's son out and going to try to get him a turkey. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, have you been in the turkey woods before?
No.
Do you have any questions for me? Anything that you've been wondering about?
When we go to the field where the turkeys are, is there gonna be like, are we gonna be like in a stand or?
We're gonna be in a ground blind. You know what that's like? Like a tent.
I've seen
like a
it
square
before.
tent. We're gonna be in there. Now, the one good thing about, I'm glad you asked that question. If you get in a blind situation, turkeys can see. I mean, if they see any movement and they suspect that there's some kind of predator out there, they're gone. Now, the reason we do have a blind in this situation is because we're gonna have a camera, we're gonna have me and you. That's 3 people. That's a lot of people trying to move around. The camera's trying to move around to get the right shot. Sometimes you might have to look and not be able to see and move your head around, and it really lets you get away with a lot more than we normally would. Now, normally, if you didn't have a blind, you'd try to find a place like that tree, someplace where you get set up to where you can hide and you'll obviously have to be camouflaged up. What other questions might you have?
How do I choose which one to shoot if there's many around the decoy?
That's a good question, and that's where I'll kind of be your guide, and you really need to listen to me, because here's one mistake that you can make pretty easily. If you see a bird over here and there's a bird right next to him or right behind him, you might not see that bird. If you shoot, the pellet might go behind him and hit another bird, which is not legal, or a hen. So I'm gonna make sure that we really are communicating. When you see that bird, don't shoot at his head, don't shoot at his face. Shoot right at the base of his neck. Put the bead of that gun right on the base of his neck where that wattle area meets the feathers. You know how their head's kind of real fleshy looking, and then all of a sudden it goes to feathers? That's where I want you to aim. I want you to put that bead right there, kind of on his throat area. That way that pattern goes all over his head, and that's what gets you a turkey on the ground. What other questions? You're asking good questions, by the way.
How do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Good question. It's very obvious in the turkey world, a boy and a girl. The boys are much bigger. This time of year in the spring, they're out displaying. You'll see them puffed up. If you see 100 turkeys out in the field, you'll see the guy all puffed up. He looks like a huge round black ball. And his head can be white, he can change the color, he can be bright red, it can be blue, or a combination of all those colors. And he's got a beard. You've seen a beard. You have to have a beard. In the springtime, you can only shoot a male turkey, and they have to have a beard. So unless you see a visible beard, don't shoot at it. Now, something you obviously don't do is you don't shoot at movement, something that might be a turkey. Like it's like, ooh, there's something through that bush and it's black and it just walked behind that tree. It was going that way, I'll just shoot and see what it was. Well, what if it's somebody's cow? Or what if it's a hunter? Or what if it's a farmer? You never shoot at moving. You see the big whole body of that animal, know exactly what it is. Make sure it's within your range. And with this gun, we're gonna shoot about 25, 30 yards max. You've shot this gun before, correct? Now have you shot doves?
I shot one, but I lost it in the woods.
Okay, if you can shoot a dove flying, you can probably hit a turkey walking at 20 yards. Now what we've done today is we're gonna put this in a situation to where we absolutely know that that gun is on target. All right, let's get set up here. You got your hearing protection?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's put a shell in it. You're shooting 3-inch, 20 gauge, 5-shot. And let's make sure that safety is on. Once I get my hearing protection on, and I say take the safety off, you shoot right there in that spot, okay? All right, take the safety off. Squeeze that shot off. It ought to be a surprise when it goes off. No more shells in the gun. Let's set this down. Now let's go take a look at your pattern.
That's a dead bird.
Oh,
totally.
Yeah. He'd still be dead tomorrow. All right, Dad's gonna be in the background. I'm gonna be in the foreground, and you're gonna be the man. Now, you understand that once you're going to on TV and everything, all the girls at school are going to say, oh, he's a movie star, and they'll be giving you your phone numbers and giving you presents and money and stuff like that. You understand that, right? Can you deal with all that?
I think.
I thought you could. Now, Nathaniel's first turkey hunt, we went out and it proved to be a pretty chilly morning. I think they've gone to the ground. See right up there?
Oh, I see one, I see one.
That looked like a hen that was being chased. Oh. They just go. There's at least 1, 2, 3. See, he's got hens. That's why they're not over here. Yeah, they're breeding. They got hens. All kinds of hens with them. That's why. They're running Jake's off too. The birds across the hill that we looked at, that we heard on the roost, they kind of came in, a couple came down below us, but they never did come within gun range. Now, we had put out a hen and a tom combo. Now, there are times, and look at this footage from last year's youth hunt, where we set this combination out and man, we had 2 birds come right in. This can make you a hero or a zero. Now, we did see one bird coming behind us and he had probably been a little beat up on. He wanted absolutely nothing to do with our big fake strutting tom and his prize hen. It was one of those days, it was pretty windy, so we decided to come back another day. The great thing about the youth hunt and the regular season, it doesn't end. So once youth hunt was over, Nathaniel still got to go out. Now, Easter weekend, I was out of town, but that didn't keep young Nathaniel out of the woods with Pops. They braved another day in less than desirable conditions, but guess what? That didn't stop them from going out.
When I first started this morning, I felt a little scared that I wasn't gonna get one, but I finally got one for my first time, and this is a great experience.